again prescription generation, periodic checkup. Fine, one more, just have a suggestion like that. How many of the hospitals or the doctors in their system, they have a system like that? Okay, the follow-up is taken. And suppose if I, as a patient, am given from the hospital that I have to visit the hospital on 3rd of March at 4 o'clock, I will get an SMS. Simple, very simple. I will get an SMS that just for your remembrance that you are supposed to be there at this hospital at 4 o'clock. Friendly SMS, we might be doing 1000 SMS a day. And so that there is a restriction in SMS. But, very important, because we think that it is a responsibility of the parent and relative to remember. No. It is a relationship with a doctor and a patient, it is a relationship with the hospital and the patient that we can have. Okay. See, suppose if a patient after an operation from the hospital is discharged and is going home, but so many of the hospitals, they wish that the relatives should not enter certain hospital areas which are very sensitive. Right. Say for example, intensive care, where the relatives of the patient and the relatives think that, oh, the patient is so serious and so that I should visit. Can't we do one thing? That there is a CCTV camera on the bed of the patient and you can see him on the television at the visiting lounge. Fine, you see your patient. Okay. Yeah.
It will reduce the human touch.
It will reduce the human touch even. Even. I say even. What I say is, there are certain sensitive areas of the hospital where hospital doctors and the staff wish that the relatives should not go there. So once when they should not go there, of course the patient should be treated. But what I mean to say, hey, I have come to see you, how are you? I'm just coming to you, I'm just asking you, how are you? Once I insist that you should say, I'm good, I'm fine, and I will go away. But that is the use of it. So instead of that, if I have, many a times, the patient's relatives, they insist that the doctor should reply me that how he is now. Even if he is a very busy surgeon, I will go to the doctor and I will ask him that how is the patient now? I know nothing, not ABC about the disease itself, but I want just to talk to the doctor. Can we have a system like that? Okay, who they are the first relatives will get a message every day how your patient is. Fine. I too think that I should not go to the hospital just to disturb the doctor. He is giving me the message, so he is taken care. Drug inventory is really a headache for the hospitals. Many a times the hospital management is not knowing that which of the drugs are now to be thrown away, which is out of date now, which has passed expiry, or which is to be demanded. If I have a perfect inventory using information technology system, I will tell you, Japan is very extensively using this inventory management in industry. How? The major industries of Japan is running by 4 hours inventory. 4 hours means whatever is to be produced on the floor shop after 4 hours, it will reach to the destination at this moment. So, if hospitals by the use of information technology and B2B business to business transactions, internet, then you can have 1 day inventory. No need to have inventory of years together. If Japan can have 4 hours inventory, after 4 hours, whatever you are in need of, you can demand. And automatically your system will demand, you are not supposed to do anything. Automatically the system will send the report because you have identified the purchase level. Right? The level of purchase, once when it reaches to the repurchase level, it will just reorder. Almost all of us are having a credit card, debit card in the system. How many of the hospitals have the smart card for the patient? A very small smart card will have the whole patient record in the pocket of the patient himself. 40 healthcare group is having it. Acha. Fine. Now, that is good. That means system has come to us. But, what is the question? Suppose if Dakan has a card, Dakan only will be having the card reader, and Dakan only can read the patient history. Now, what should happen for that? First of all, do we believe in transparency? Or in the name of security? It's a $1 billion question. Do we definitely believe it?
Not only security, privacy, permission, obligation.
Suppose that you are patient, say, as a doctor, may I ask you one question that how many of the patients has insisted to you that, sir, please, this is absolutely private and don't disclose. It's confidential.
Not a single patient.
Not a single, sir.
Sir, I don't think it's a question of the patient paying for it, more a question of the ethics of the doctor and the medical profession that we need to preserve the records and don't divulge it to anybody till the time it's really needed and asked for.
Yeah, definitely, sir. I do agree with you. Thank you, sir. But a very simple thing like the patient's case history, that what you give in the file, right? That what you give in the file, if it is there in the card, if it is placed on the network, if it is accessible, then if I have the unique ID, see, now India is having the unique ID system. Along with the unique ID, suppose if I have my allergies being written in it, that I am allergic to so and so, fine. I'm diabetic, yeah. So, once when I give my card to the doctor will just take the card, insert it, and will read that what allergies you have, whether you are diabetic or not, whether you are hypertension or not, and while prescribing, it will be in his mind that yes, everything, every time, suppose if I go and ask him, instead. But number one, very, very important, the card only will not serve the purpose. Information to be fed into the card is very important. Suppose if I am declared diabetic, at the moment my card should know that yes, I am diabetic. Yeah. Sauthi muskil hai. That is the basic thing. That management of information, right? So health smart card system you have, and this is what I was just telling you, ki prescription. Smart cards has now come to our pockets, and if I ask Dr. Sukal, okay, wait a moment, he will give me the prescription, and I will go. This is the prescription, just give. You may once again raise a question that whether electronic prescriptions are valid or not. Yes or no?
How much are reliable?
No, but the thing is, most of the doctors are habituated to scribble down the prescription.
That is right.
They would never succumb to this keen in gossip.
No, for the regular patient I don't say.
All over what they think.
Suppose if all over the world, that I don't know. But my question is a different one. That whether this electronic prescription sent by the messaging system, or by the email, whether it is legal.
No, not legal.
Then doctor must be given a unique code for that.
Any type of electronic data sent by any media is not legal as per Indian law.
No, it is not so. It is not so. आप अपने दिमाग से वो बात छोड़ दीजिए.
In American healthcare system,
if you have the electronic signature along with it, what I wanted to convey is this thing by the question, that you should have the electronic signature along with it, and once if you have the electronic signature, it is valid because your signature is your signature, and without your signature it is not valid and you cannot send it. So, once when you are sending your electronic signature along with it, you are liable for it.
Yeah.
Here is the electronic dispensing, the whole system you can see. See, I'm saying nothing from my own pocket. Everything is in practice. Right? You have an appointment at 8:30 with the doctor. The concept of call center. The concept of call center, if it is there in the industry, why it cannot come down to the medical field?
It is already initiated in Bombay.
Not only that, in Ahmedabad also.
It's a private company. Airtel itself is giving on mobile 35 rupees for 1 liter.
So, RFIDs are very useful. Radio frequency IDs. Just please give. In various ways you can use these RFIDs for collection of data. These are data gathering devices. But these data should go to the database and should be processed next.
Sir, this thing is used in pacemaker.
RFID is used in so many of the medical instruments, so many medical instruments, yes. Okay. See, hospital interface, you can see indoor patients, all this lab, registration, radiology, billing, pharmacy, all these. We have each of the segment separately computerized. we want now an integrated system. Next. Yes. So it can go to the interface with MD, it can go to the master interface for even cloud, and to the outdoor patients, pharmacy, lab, everything. So everything you can integrate along with the information, and harmoniously they will be working if we utilize this particular information technology. Yes, and this one is a concept of healthcare private network. There are public networks in countries like US, but here we can have an establishment of healthcare network using internet or VSET facility. These are the VSETs. So those VSETs can talk to each other. Now once when they talk to each other, no need to transfer the data from one place to another place physically. Many a times it is not even required to transport patient from one place to another place, and that helps. Acha. Not only that, it is a collaborative network of small clinics along with the hospitals, and in the next age of telemedicine, right, e-medicines, at the clinic you have your medical officer. As a franchisee, the hospitals, the large scale hospitals will have the franchisees in the small areas. That franchisee will be a medical practitioner, and he will have a network with the hospital where that will be not the referral services only, but the treatment will be at the part of the clinic. The medicine will be prescribed in the clinic itself, because whatever the tests are to be done, those tests are done, the data has been transferred, the consultant is consulted, and the prescription is passed on. So, if it is online, there is no difference between patient going directly to that or patient being treated here in the clinic. Next please. This is clinical decision support system. Very, very important thing. Decision support system, as I told you, that what is knowledge? And knowledge allows the person to make the right decisions. Once if your information is processed in a right way, the information will generate the knowledge, and that knowledge will help you to make the decision. All your clinical decisions today, we take on the wisdom of the doctor. Now, that can be an added advantage to have the clinical records, and that too logically processed. The logic in the expert system, medical expert system. So these medical expert systems, my friend, that is a software solution prepared by more than 1,000 expert faculties, and their logic, thumb rules are gathered into it. Now, your reports pass through these thumb rules, and ultimately they suggest different decisions to be made by the expert. So this is a decision support system. It is not a decision making system, I tell you. System does not make a decision. decision is made by the expert, by the doctor, but this is a system where all the logics are put into it, and because of that logic, making decision becomes easy. And we may move to the right decision at the right time. Next please. Because here are certain alerts. Okay. In the hands of the nursing staff, you have the medication list. Now, that medication list, can't that medication list be on their mobile or on their handheld devices? That which give the alarm. That will alarm and alert the nursing staff that yes, this is the time for the medication for so and so. Simultaneously, it will have the allergies, clinical narratives, test results. Next please. This also is one of the dispensing system. Please next. Okay. By all this means, you have the patient record which can have all these 5 aspects. Next please. As I told you that you can mobilize the information and you can make this information as a cloud of information. Next please. Okay. The patient's engagement system. Once when I go to the clinic or hospital, I will have to wait. Instead of that, suppose that I have the system that yes, it is my number, I have to move, I will be going here at this time, all these records will be ready. Next please. Yes, here you can see the patient point is a software which takes care of it. Next please. Better day health. Automated reminder, computerized expert system, all those I had at the top of it. Next please. Next day the consultant will be having, of course today CT scan and MRI is there, but infrared scanners, holographic images. How many of you have heard of holographic image? Yes, definitely you might have. Let us see. Yes. Suppose that I want to have the robotic surgery, the holographic image will be helpful to me. If I want just practicals to be given on a 3D holographic image to my students, I can next please, next. Yes, you can see that they are performing the virtual surgery on the holographic images. And here is the intraoperative navigations. This is all common. Fine. Here is the expert system, the anatomy of the expert system. Okay. I think I should stop here because sir is waiting and I've taken too much of your time. Of course, I was given 45 minutes, but I think I have taken some more. Sorry, sir. Now, any 2 questions, suppose if you have. Sir.
Usually, our experience is the failure in implementing the technology. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
It's an execution which is acceptance amongst the lower staff and the data entry operators. It's always. See, I have been asking number of consultants. See, how many patients you have seen? Like, say, for example, Yogesh Bhai, you've seen thousands of patients.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he might not be remembering the number.
Fine. The problem is that at the level of execution, doctor, not only at the lower staff, at higher just a high end also. Problem is that we are not accustomed to it. Gradually as we are moving and we are going to the electronic gadgets are becoming a part of us. But as I told you that, see, simply gathering information will be of no use. Managing that information and utilizing that information is very, very important. And so that, see, suppose if we at the hospital or we at the helm of the health and care support will not train the people, see, that needs intensive training.
Part of the curriculum, then it will be possible. In the level of the doctors and the level of the nurses.
But one thing, let me tell you, sir, that academics is a different thing, and
It's a part of academics because this data will utilize for the development of the medical science.
yes.
So government has to implement it.
That should be. See, could you tell me that how many of the hospitals are having the well-qualified staff for the hospital management? Say for example, tomorrow we in the hospital management curricula, it is implemented. But are we intending to appoint such qualified staff? Because in the name of cost cutting, what we are compromising it at the staff salary. On one hand we want the expert, on the other hand we don't want to pay. Okay, thank you very much, my friends. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for making us to understand the actual needs of science, engineering and technology. To present a memento to Dr. Pradeep Chobandutra. Thank you,
This is
sir.
information collection.
Thank you, Dr. Mahalli.